Well, I will quickly introduce myself. I'm Marci Houff, and I'm a member of the Women's Fund. And I've had the pleasure of working with the Grants Committee before. And who I'm speaking to is Tracy Levine. And Tracy is the Executive Director of Healing Housing in Franklin. And I'm just a little bit of background on the organization. Got this off your website, of course.
Yep.
You opened in 2017, so it's a relatively new organization, and it's Williamson County's first and only nonprofit sober living community for women, which it's a mouthful, but just saying it almost puts chills on you because you know how much that's needed. So with that, Tracy, we just thought, let's ask some questions. Let's find out what's been going on over there and you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. How's that with the pandemic? So first of all, if you could just kind of briefly talk about what your mission is at Healing Housing, that'd be terrific.
Yes, so the organization was founded by Olivia Mullen Smith, and in 2017, like you said, with a team of people who saw the need for affordable, safe housing for women recovering from alcohol and substance abuse. At the time, the direction Olivia was headed was to help women directly from prison. And as like with any nonprofit, you sort of, as you start digging into research, you find out what's really needed. And affordable sober living is needed across the board, across the country. And we're seeing it throughout COVID more than ever, because we are backed up with applications. And as one would expect, and as we all know, mental health, people suffering with co-occurring and mental health disorders, COVID has really has made things very difficult. The original mission of the organization was to help this specific group of women get back on their feet, live in a recovery community, so that they are away from people, places, and things that trigger relapse and addiction. And I think as each year has gone on, we've seen how we can better support and help women with that need.
Can you tell me a little bit about how long they may be there? And I know there's a really interesting program where they actually are working. It's just really the way you do all of it is wonderful. So maybe share some of that.
I'd love to. So we are a door-to-door service. So women coming directly from prison, from jail, or from rehab, specifically residential rehab treatment, come to us directly. And upon admittance, after screening and making sure that they're a good fit for us, we are setting them up for a minimum 6-month stay. And what we find is that most women prefer to stay closer to 8 months, and they have the ability to stay up to a year. But it seems like it kind of is at about 8 months, most of our women have children. And so most are ready to get back. They've gotten things back in order through our savings program. They're able to get ready for a down payment on an apartment, and they're ready to be reunited with their kids. And I'm so grateful to the Community Foundation and the Women's Fund for the support they've given us for the last couple of years. It has really enabled me as the executive director in a young organization to sort of get away from just treading water, and to be able now, as I've collected data on doing the best that we can by the women, I've been able to see specific needs that programmatically we can help the women with. So one of those has been that we've noticed our women do daily wrap-up sheets. And so they send us a report each night of, did they meet with their sponsor? Did they meet with their therapist? Were they selfish or dishonest? Did they not disclose something that they should have? What could they have done better? And in looking at that, there were some things that I noticed that were specific that kept coming up. And one of those had to do around wellness and body issues, which we see obviously come up a lot for in women's housing, and it's only been amplified during COVID. But what I was able to do with the foundation's support was start to get into specific therapeutic workshops that I can bring in by facilitators who I can show this data to and say, how can you help us with subject matter that we can look at this in a holistic approach to helping them really look at those problems and probably what the greater underlying issue is. So that funding to me has been something that we've never been able to do in the past, is a sort of, again, to bring in specific therapists to address specific issues. And the women love it. They just love it. It's part of our relapse prevention programming. So we're so grateful for that. And I just only want to expand on that because I feel like in years to come, they have family members that we could offer this kind of support and workshops to. And, you know, again, the whole community benefits when we can get one woman sober. So please go to healinghousing.org, and that has all of our socials on it. It's got our website, it's got events, it's got a volunteer form. But yes, we love to have volunteers. We love the support of our community. We're doing more educational outreach this year and film screening and things like that I think are of interest to the community. And we love feedback too, you know. We want to keep bettering ourselves and answering the need of our community. Yeah.
Okay. Well, do they say that's a wrap in the business?
That's what we need, like a
the thing that comes down.